We begin with our Bronx Athlete of the Week. This week's award goes to two basketball brothers passing on what they have learned from the game onto other youngsters. The BX's own Scoochie Smith and Malachi Smith will be hosting the Smith Camp on July 16th and 17th at Dayton. Scoochie, a former UD star, and Mally, of course, a current one for the Flyers. It's the first ever camp for the brothers together. Pretty cool. We'll stick with Bronx Hoopsters here on the top spot on the front end of 5 on 5. 5 sports stories and recap, and of course 5 to watch out for in the days ahead. Team USA's under-17 basketball team is getting a boost from a local star. Stepanak standout Boogie Flan is representing the Stars and Stripes at the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup in Spain. The 8-day tournament concludes with the medal matches on July 10th. In at number 4, it's time for our weekly Judge Report. Bronx Bomber All-Star Aaron Judge is chasing the ghosts of Yankees past. The All-Star Game's top vote getter remains on pace to challenge the club's single-season home run record set by the great Roger Maris. 61 homers hit in 1961, 61 years ago this summer. Entering the week, the latest projections for Judge have him at 59 homers, just a touch off the pace this past week for Aaron Judge. As for the Pinstripers, no slowing down for them. They go 14-6 over their last 20 games in 20 days entering the week. And to boot, 5 of the 6 teams that they have played in that stretch had winning records. The best team in baseball, folks, plays right here in the Bronx. And if that's not enough on the diamond, the Yankees are doing big things for the community away from the game of baseball. The Yanks celebrated the end of Pride Month in the month of June, shining a spotlight on the 2022 recipients of the Yankees Stonewall Scholarship Initiative. On a yearly basis, the team awards $50,000 worth of scholarships through 5 $10,000 college scholarships to one graduating high school senior from each of the 5 boroughs of New York City. That comes in here at number 3. More on that story. Check this out.
It means so much, right? I think that I grew up in a community where I wasn't accepted for who I was. And for a long time, I hid my sexuality from other people. And it wasn't until I arrived in America that I sort of became vocal about my experience as an LGBTQ plus youth. And so being here and winning this scholarship is like a full circle for me, right? It's that moment of, wow, I'm finally living in a world where I can be myself. And I wish that every single LGBTQ plus youth around the world has the same opportunity as me. And that's what I'm going to continue fighting for.
Especially nowadays when you see like a lot of anti-LGBTQ laws popping up across the country, seeing big names kind of show their support for like the little guy is very, very exciting and very, very happy. It makes you feel really warm and loved and like somewhat protected, at least socially. And so I'm very happy that they decided to do this.
In the 2 spot, the Mets continue their assault on the National League. The Amazons are also getting healthier with star pitchers Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer on the mend. The Mets took 2 of 3 last weekend. We go back inside the locker room for more.
Just get hits. I mean, that's all it is. You know, I still try to take the same approach up there. And, you know, hits are falling this year, so not trying to do too much, and nothing really changed.
It feels nice. So I feel today using more my breaking balls and going with my fastball in and out. So that combination today was great.
And at number 1, Bronx and New York City racing fans looking for some nearby action can always turn to the half mile at Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut. The track is a little over 2 hours away from the city, and for the second straight year, welcome the Superstar Racing Experience. Our BronxNet cameras return for the SRX race, taking in the races on July 4th weekend. In the first heat, 2014 Indy 500 winner Ryan Hunter-Reay dusted the field of legends and stars to win the precursor to the main event. Heat 2 saw NASCAR Hall of Famer Bobby Labonte outclass the field. In the main event, Ryan Newman bided his time and pounced with 4 laps remaining in the 75-lap affair, passing Marco Andretti to win his first SRX race. Following Elio Castro Neves' opening win at Five Flags Speedway and Tony Stewart's win last week at South Boston, Newman is the 3rd winner of the season and retains the points lead as the Summer Series hits its halfway point. Joining Newman on top of his car at the end of the race were his daughters. They escorted him out of the hospital 2 years ago following a wreck in the 2020 Daytona 500 that nearly ended his career. In other racing news, Scott McLaughlin wins at Mid-Ohio in IndyCar. It's his second series win of the season. The Penske driver and his number 3 held off reigning series champion Alex Palou over the final 17 laps, beating him to the finish line by 0.5512 seconds. Here's more with Scott.
I felt pretty good, felt pretty strong straight away. And then I think we lost the balance towards the end of the race a little bit. The car wasn't as nice those last few stints, even though we were leading, but had thankfully had enough to hold off Alex there. And it was some pretty tense restarts and defending and doing bits and pieces. But really proud of everyone. The car's been awesome. We've had promise of top 5s and bits and pieces, but we just haven't put it together. And to finally put it together after 2 good races, had Road America P7, today winning the race. It's a really proud moment for us all.
And in Formula One, a scary shunt for Alfa Romeo's Zhou Guanyu in the early going of the British Grand Prix last weekend. The halo once again proving its worth. Guanyu is okay and doing well, and the fans, including Top Gun Maverick star Tom Cruise, who was at Silverstone celebrating his 60th birthday, enjoyed a super finish to the race. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz Jr. is an F1 winner for the first time in his career. We kick off the back end of this 5-on-5 with an on this date in Bronx sports history. We flash back to July 8th, 2010. Man, that feels like yesterday. Using an online ballot, fans select Yankee star Nick Swisher and Reds first baseman Joey Votto to fill the last 2 roster spots in that year's Midsummer Classic. In the process, the New York outfielder edges Red Sox first baseman Kevin Youkilis for the final American League spot. Swish used his Twitter account to campaign for votes and to thank his fans for their support. Our BronxNet cameras rolled at that memorable All-Star game in California. Check out this pretty cool All-Star game jersey from that season. Yes, indeed, Nick Swisher, one of our favorites. In the 2-spot, NYCFC, fresh off a 2-2 tie with Atlanta, will host New England Saturday at 1 p.m. at Yankee Stadium. At 3, the Mets continue their homestand with Miami this weekend at Citi Field. Meantime, the Yankees are in Boston, continuing their road series with the Red Sox that began yesterday. The Pinstripers come in here at number 4. And at 5, Formula One will be at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix this Sunday. Watch here in the United States at 9 a.m. on ESPN this Sunday morning. We hit the C-list for a closer look at the Bronx Bombers as we move into the All-Star break. With baseball reaching the midseason point, it's time to give the Yankees some real credit with the calendar rolling over to the month of July. This isn't just a hot start anymore for the Bombers. These Yankees are challenging history. The team is on pace for a record 117 victories. We've talked about some of the keys to the season thus far, week in and week out here on the show. Stars like Aaron Judge, but I wanted to examine 2 unsung heroes here because I believe that's what is making this season so special here in the Bronx. The Pinstripers are getting major contributions from places that you would have least expected to get them from this season. In my mind, that is embodied in 2 relievers from the bullpen, Michael King and Clay Holmes. Holmes and King rank 1-2 among American League relievers in wins above replacement, according to Fangraphs. King and Holmes have been everything the Yankees hoped Zach Britton and Aroldis Chapman would be this season. King has delivered more than 3 outs 15 times and struck out 34.5% of hitters that he has faced, 3rd most in the major leagues. Holmes has essentially been prime Britton, which is really a big compliment. Fangraphs has tracked ground ball percentage since 2002. Since the stat has been tracked, Britton has 6 of the top 11, including the top 3 with a high of 80% in 2016. Now check this out. Holmes is currently at 82.6% this season. This tandem is having a Mariano Rivera-like effect at the end of games. Yankees remain very dangerous at the midway point. They continue to look like serious World Series contenders, not just a hot start for the Bronx Bombers anymore. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.